Welcome to the Parkinson's Disease Education Show, where we demystify the disease and empower you as the person with Parkinson's disease to reach your true potential. The content contained on this show is for informational purposes only and is not meant to be a replacement for information or advice that you receive from your in-person medical or therapy professionals. If you haven't already, I hope you'll consider subscribing, and for an even more personalized experience, please ask us about our memberships. Now, without further ado, let's start the show. Greetings, folks. Dr. Michael here for What's Next Wednesday. And for those of you who are new, welcome. This is a periodic live that I do just to kind of give updates on what I'm working on in the podcast, YouTube channel, and all that. And also here to interact with you all if you want to say hi and ask questions and so forth. For those of you here live, welcome and thanks for being here. I wanted to talk to you a little bit about the upcoming idea that I had for, or the upcoming idea I had for the upcoming content on the channel, which was the so-called Rife frequency and how that has connections with supposedly helping with Parkinson's symptoms management and maybe beyond that, I'm not sure. But I've had this come up on the channel a couple different times where people were asking about it. And I didn't know enough about it to answer any questions, so I was starting to do a little bit of research on it. There's a lot of, this is a bad pun, but not intentional. There's a lot of buzz out there, vibes, if you will, about vibration and tactile therapy for Parkinson's disease. In fact, there was a pretty controversial thing that came out just recently about the Beach Band. If you ever heard of the Beach Band, it's a wearable device that's supposed to be able to help with managing things like dyskinesia and tremors and so forth, where the owner of Beach Band actually made some pretty bold statements. I won't misspeak or misquote it, so look that up if you haven't seen it. But yeah, so the Rife apparently is a device that creates a sound wave vibration called the Rife frequency. And I can tell you, I want to dive into that deeper in the upcoming video that I'm going to publish and or podcast episode once that's in audio form. And I'm doing some research on that to kind of, ideally what I'm trying to do with it is to compare and contrast the different techniques, technology that's out there in terms of the vibrotactile type of treatment, vibration therapies. I mean, there's a lot of things out there. There's like I mentioned, the Beach Band. There's tuning forks that are supposedly helpful, and I know some people personally that are using tuning forks to help with dyskinesia symptoms. Either tuning forks or a vibration device that goes against the body. So the controversy for me is not whatsoever that it could help manage symptoms, but that there's really been some big claims out there on some of these companies about, I mean, even going as not going as far as dropping the C word, if you know what I mean, but essentially hinting at that it could reverse the disease process, things like that. So that's kind of a wild claim to make, in my opinion, but I'm willing to explore whatever can be found about it. So what I can tell you right now, just off of my research, just in the last couple of days, there's almost no evidence whatsoever on some of these techniques. I don't mean some of the proven ones or the ones that are well known, but some of these specific ones like Rife frequency. Rife is R-I-F-E. You can look that up on Google if you're interested in finding out more about the machines and how they work. Essentially, like I said, it's a so it's a way to apply vibration to the body. I don't know enough about Rife specifically to tell you whether it's wearable or whether it's something that you just have close to you or whatnot. I'll share more about that as I can this upcoming weekend. You know the drill. If you've been following for a while, I typically do premieres of the videos on the YouTube channel on Saturday mornings, typically 9 o'clock Central Time in USA. And I will do my best to get that done this week, among all the other things going on. because it's not recorded yet. But I wanted to share with you the idea that I have for that content, and to welcome your input if you're interested in that. If you'd like anything else that has not been addressed on the in our topics that you would like to have me research or answer questions on. Sorry, the green screen is making my shirt appear weird today. It's too close to green, maybe. Yeah. So anybody that's here, don't be shy. Just say hi if you're willing to do that in the chat, wherever you're watching from. I'm going to share this in a couple locations because for some reason I wasn't able to do that from my personal on Facebook. I'm live on Facebook and on YouTube right now. But that's about it. It's a short update, and I wanted to make sure I got on here and shared with you that that's coming up, and the plan is going to be this weekend. That's the bottom line. Sorry, I didn't mean to do the audio there. Well, anyway, I'll share this in a couple locations. I won't be live. Once I share it, I'll kind of sign off first. I'll share it in several Facebook groups, hopefully, on there. So hopefully you saw the most recent video that we did, and it's now on. So I'm trying to think which one. What was the most recent one was about Ambroxol. So that got a lot of interest, and I do hope that something like Ambroxol or the exact drug would be something that's available in the United States at some point. It's not FDA approved, so I had a lot of questions about that, like, hey, where can I get this? Yeah, it's like I said it in the video, but sometimes people miss those little details. But yeah, it's not FDA approved, so in the US you can't access it that I know of in any fashion unless you're ordering it from Europe. But I'm not sure that that's possible to do legally, since you'd have to ship it over here and have to go through customs and all that. But yeah, it's in Europe for sure. I'm not sure where else in the world. Someone from South Africa asked about it. I was like, I don't know if I don't know either way if you could get it in South Africa, but it might be possible. But yeah, but again, please, if you have any further topics we haven't covered yet that you have interest in or you have questions about. Oh, Jet asked, what are the right frequencies to produce new dopamine neurons? See, that's the exact kind of question I'm talking about. So, Jet, I don't know off the top of my head to answer you now, but that's the kind of thing I want to cover in the video coming up this weekend. Is to kind of go into as much more detail about that, and that's intriguing because your comment brings up the fact that there's probably a claim somewhere out there in the ether that right frequency can produce new dopamine neurons. That's the kind of thing that I find very controversial as a statement. I'm not saying you're being controversial, but for someone to claim that new neurons are being produced, that's extremely, aside from stem cells, I don't know anything else that would actually cause neurons to grow or to regrow. That's neural tissue, by and large, doesn't come back if it's gone already. So that's information I'll look up for you. What I can tell you in brief, though, Jet, is that the frequencies that are stated to help, what I've been able to find out so far, is that they are the frequencies that are supposedly helpful, or it varies wildly what the frequency is. So that doesn't fill me with a lot of comfort in terms of any guidance I could give. And in other words, it doesn't make me feel confident that there's there's one frequency that would help a lot of different people overall. So you have a Rife machine. Okay, so your mom's using it. Well, again, this isn't anything to say that this is harmful to people. But again, claims that you're regenerating neurons or curing Parkinson's or whatever, that's, whoa, we need to slow down with those kind of statements. So I can tell you the research is extremely limited or non-existent on this. So, but I will look at what I can and share it with you as best I can this weekend. So I'd appreciate it if you can come to the premiere of the video this weekend once it drops, and hopefully I can answer some of these questions for y'all. I'm going to go ahead and sign off. I appreciate y'all being here live. Jet, thanks for your question and for your comments. I appreciate it so much. Look forward to seeing you this weekend. And as always, be empowered. Have a great day.